Oh, welcome all to the SnailTrail4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, and maybe even poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course, hearing about how to fix a lot of stuff in Toyotas, then this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and germs. My name is Tyler, and joining me for another episode of the SnailTrail4x4 podcast, this is, what number is this?
701.
701. This is the first episode of the 700 series.
Yeah.
So I think that's how we're going to name the H100s now as a series. 700 series.
Okay.
The first episode of the 700 series.
Series 7, episode 1.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, the person joining me, as always, is that guy right over there, Mr. Jimmy Jett, for 701 numbered episodes.
Right.
How the hell are you, man?
I'm good. Good.
Yeah,
nice. Little tired.
Yeah.
You know,
Why are you so
700
tired?
episodes. It's been a long day.
Has been long. That's how long, how much time is that?
Know.
Like,
just what would be 700 times 1.5 hours?
I was gonna say, if our average episode is like 3.5 hours long, and
3.5. No, well, it's 700 hours plus 350. So 1,050 hours roughly.
Sure.
Well, I guess
if we're at 1.5 hours average. Yeah. Okay.
That's 1,050 hours.
Yeah.
So how many days is that?
44 days.
And that's just numbered episodes, not snail mails, not TTTTs, not any of the other bonus episodes or anything we've done.
43 and 3/4 days. Non-stop. You could listen.
Yeah.
Non-stop. And listen to everything. So
and we wanted to start what was that, satellite radio station, and just put us on 24-hour repeat. Yeah. And we would go for 43 days, 44 days, and then it would start over.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And that's not including the other podcast either. So
true.
I mean, we've got 20 some odd episodes over there now. Just like kind of random stuff.
Yeah, we're like 25, 26.
Yeah. Wow.
And then we could include Jay's Jaunts if that ever started.
Right?
And then, if we really wanted, because we were talking about it with possibly getting Wheeling Wine and Whiskey in on there too.
Yeah.
Who hasn't released an episode in like 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah. I think they're at 14 days when I last looked.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Let me see.
That'd be interesting, man, because we have Rovers After Dark. We've got Botches.
Yep.
Us, Wheeling Wine and Whiskey.
Well, there's tons of off-roading podcasts too.
But then
there's like Jeep Show podcast. There's
they don't matter.
Toyota Garage podcast. We could do the Newfound Overland. Dirt Drives. Yeah, there's a lot of off-roading podcasts.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of them that like we're all kind of really tight buddies with.
Yeah.
Right. And we're not tight buddies with all the podcasts out there. Like, I don't know, that Land Rover one is questionable, but, I still think it'd be a great idea to put together an off-roading podcast radio.
Maybe.
So radio station.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right. So let's see. What do we got going on this Thursday?
It is Thursday where we talk about what the hell we've been up to and what we have on our mind, which we've already kind of started. But we're getting close to the end of the month. So we've got a lot of stuff coming up. And a lot of stuff coming at pretty much a due date at the end of this month for a few different things.
A week from today, if you guys are listening on the day this released. We've got the gift boxes.
Yes, we do.
So let's, those are essentially April and October. We open up the gift box tier for you guys to get in on. And then Jimmy and I take essentially $60 that you supply over that 6 months. And we try and turn it into roughly $80, and like 10 of those dollars is their box and shipping to you as well. So we're really taking like $50 from you and turning it into at least $80 value worth of stuff in a fun little present from Jimmy and I.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how that works. And we only have that open for April and October. And otherwise we lock it all down because you really need to pay the full $50 in order to get in for the releases each time. Or the $60 to get into the releases each time. That way we make sure that it's fair for everybody. And like somebody's not getting in the month before it comes out, and then they're only paying $10 in and they're getting a full gift box. Like, that doesn't make sense. So anyways, April and October is when that happens. And so it's open right now for you guys. It's been open since April 1st, and it'll be open through the end of the month, just depending on when Austin decides to go and close it down. Now, he is, what is it, Central Time?
I think Central, yeah.
I always forget which one is 2 hours, if it's Mountain or Central. It's Central, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's right. So Mountain Time, just nobody really cares about. It's nobody knows what it is. So Central Time, so he's 2 hours ahead. So, if he shuts it down at midnight his time, it could be 10 p.m. here on the West Coast. So just be aware of that it's up to Austin when he shuts it down on the last day of the month. So you don't necessarily have until midnight. Don't procrastinate. Don't put it off. Go do it if you wanted to change anything around, because now's the time. All the tiers are active. They're all available. So if you want to change anything up, now's the time to do it.
Absolutely. We're going to dive into gift boxes a little bit later in the episode, just kind of give you guys a hint about what they are, or how they work, or what the scenario around them. We're not going to talk about what's in this gift box, which we kind of traditionally do once everybody gets the gift box, but because, just the planning, our poor planning really of it is these gift boxes are going to come out pretty much the last week of April here. So we can't tell everybody what's in it. That's just going to be a surprise online for everybody that shows it off. So yeah, we're going to jump into that in a little bit, but we do want to reiterate that if you are signing up or changing tiers, you have to go over to iRate4x4. You need to go down to watch, listen, discuss section, click on SnailTrail4x4. All your sign up options are there. So if you want to get into the gift box tier or the giveaway tier or the give us a coffee tier, you can do that. Now, if you're changing tiers, if you want to move tiers in any way, then you have to go over to your PayPal subscription that you're signing up with. And then you have to go in there and you have to cancel the tier that you don't want to be in anymore. You can sign up on iRate4x4, but it won't cancel the other tier that you're on. So you'll technically be in 2 tiers if you're changing tiers. So if you want to cancel one of them, you have to go over to PayPal to do that. We will, at the end of the month, we usually go through everything for the giveaway items and all that. And if people are in multiple tiers, we'll make sure to reach out to you and let you know.
Cool. Sounds good there. Yep. For the month of April, we have the giveaway, we have the gift boxes. We've got reviews that we always kind of do giveaway stuff for. So once we're coming up on 800 reviews here shortly. So once we reach 800, we will be giving away an Onyx Elite membership for you guys, and which they have rolled out kind of officially. They're still being a little hush hush on it. The group rides feature. So
we need to get them on the podcast again. Talk about that.
Yeah. It's a really cool feature that essentially you can tie everybody into a group that's out on driving around on your adventures. And then if you have cell data service on your phone, then you can see where everybody in your group is. It's a really nice, really useful feature. So you don't necessarily have to keep track and make sure somebody's in your rearview mirror all the time, because you know where they are on the map. But just keep in mind that if you go away from them, if they have troubles, you got to go all the way back to them. That's kind of the rule, the caveat to that. But it's a really cool feature, and it comes included with Onyx Elite memberships now. So we'll have that giveaway at 800 reviews. And again at 850 reviews, and then at 900 reviews, we've got a $900 or more. See, like how I did that?
I see.
Giveaway with Morphlate. So we'll have a nice, fun package for you guys with a bunch of really cool stuff from Morphlate. Some new stuff coming out, and we'll get into that more as we get around to launching it and having it available for you guys. So leave reviews. Every time you leave a review, you are automatically entered for all the upcoming giveaways we do from reviews. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. You just do it once, and it really goes a long way to getting us in front of more people. The more people we're in front of, the more people we have listening to the show, interacting with the show, the more really cool stuff we get to do with you guys, like the group buy with Devos. Right, which is another thing we got going on right now. It's 25% off the new LightRanger 500. So normally they're $70. That brings it down to $53 and some change. And it's a really sweet light. I think that everybody, if you go out off-roading and camping, even just camping, like tent camping in a campground, you're not really off-roading, you're just driving to a campground camping. This will be one of the most utilized tools for overnight trips, in my opinion.
I agree.
It's got the motion sensor, the 3 colored lights on it. You can put the lights in on coming off of 3 different directions. It's an area light. And so by changing, I don't want to say 3 different directions, 3 of the different sides of the light.
It goes 4 sides, 2 sides, 1 side, right?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's really for power consumption. So you can get the power to last a lot longer by just running 1 side instead of all 4 sides on the LEDs. So there's magnets in it. There's a built-in clip to it to hang it from stuff. There's a 1/4-20 threaded insert on it to screw it into a stand. A lot of really cool features built into this tiny little light package. That Devos came out with. So there are other lights, the LightRanger 1000, the 1200s, 800, 1200s, the 2000s. They're awesome lights, but they're really big area lights. They're to like light up your whole campground area, right? Whereas this is to light up your immediate vicinity if you're working under a vehicle inside your tent at nighttime. It's in my opinion, it's a personal use light, right? Which is fantastic. And I think could be used more than just kind of a wide area campsite light up light. So
I found my first flaw with it.
Okay.
Which is probably the only flaw with it. But if you turn it on and you go to a color, then you have to wait because it'll cycle through. But if you turn it back off and then you turn it on, it's white again.
It goes back to white.
It always goes back to white, which is, I mean, it's not a good or bad thing, but that's... I think
can't just leave it on yellow all the time.
Yeah,
right?
You can't just leave it with yellow the whole time.
Gotcha.
It defaults on startup back to white.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spencer, what are you doing, man? Just kidding.
What if that's the flaw?
Yeah, that's the flaw, right?
Yeah, big deal.
Yeah.
But no, it's a super cool light. We're super happy to be working with Devos and do a big old group buy with them.
Yep.
It's far exceeded anybody's expectations of how many lights we're signing up for with everybody. I think we're pushing 90-ish right about now. So that's pretty amazing. We did talk to Devos and we weren't able to work a better deal out. That was the best that we were able to do. But yeah, so it's super exciting to get this good deal out there. And I believe Roger should have his light by now. And I know Roger put in an order for another one already.
Nice. Yeah. There you go.
So perfect.
Yep. All right. So that's the giveaway, not the giveaway, the group buy. If you guys still want to get in on that and reserve a unit for yourself, you just got to reach out to us and make sure that we have your name, email contact for you, and how many units you want. We'll add it to the list that we're keeping track of. That is going to close down at the end of April. So on May 1st, we'll be reaching out to Devos to start the logistics of putting all the orders together. So you guys have until the end of April to get that number to us and show that you want one of these things. This is not going to be an ongoing, like a discount code you can put in and buy something whenever you want. This is a kind of a one-time purchase, and then the discount goes away. So make sure if you guys have any interest in getting them, $53 is pretty damn cheap for what these things are. So
yeah, absolutely. We do have a discount code with Devos as well. I think it's SnailTrail12, and I think we get 10 or 12% off. I'm guessing since it's 12, I'm assuming it's 12% off.
Yeah.
So after this group buy ends, you can still go and buy some of this stuff online at a discounted rate, but you're not going to get this wonderful rate that we're currently getting.
Yep.
You can always reach out to us, like Tyler was saying. Tell us that information. We need your name, how many you want, and your email address. You can email us, Jimmy or Tyler, at SnailTrail4x4, or you can reach out on the new Discord, and which is a lot of fun. We've having some really fun conversations. It's really kind of become a faster question and answer than the snail mails has turned into. A lot of people are asking questions, and then Tyler and I get to chime in, but it's a lot of fun seeing everybody else chiming in as well. There's some fun conversations happening with chainsaws right now versus gas chainsaws versus electric chainsaws. There's been a lot of e-locker talk on there. Don't know if WFO9 is Jeff from Morgan.
It would make sense. He seems to have a lot of the same informational knowledge.
Yes, that's my guess. I think he's holding back from telling us and trying to let us figure it out.
Yeah.
Very smart people on the Discord, way smarter than I am.
Yeah. Agreed.
And people know how to use a multimeter, which is, that's a bonus. And so, the Discord's a lot of fun. There's a link down in the show notes. You guys can click it anytime. It'll take you directly over to the Discord. And then you either have to log in or sign up, and it's super easy to do both of those. So please join us over there. And I think Monday's guest will be on there as well, if you guys want to start asking questions to them.
Yep. He's got some great information knowledge on the topics that he's an expert at, and he has some pretty fun rock crawlers too. So there's some good questions, and he'll get to show those off, I think, over the listener rig section. So let's see. Anything else, man?
I don't think so. I think that's a good long intro.
Yeah. Cool. All right, then let's take a quick break, and then we'll be right on back with what we've been up to. A lot of updates, a lot of stuff happened the past week. So sit down, hold on, and we'll be right on back with today's, not the campfire discussion. That's Monday. The what in the butt?
What in the butt?
Hey guys, I love going out wheeling and I love playing in the outdoors, and one of the main tools I rely on for all of the activities is onX Off-Road. onX keeps me in the know, it keeps me on the trails, and it keeps me from getting lost so that I can make it back home to my family and friends. There's tons of tools and data available for outdoor activities on the app that helps you plan your next trip, and it helps keep the adventures rolling. Start your free trial over at onxmaps.com.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody out there. What is today's date? Thursday, April 23rd. Thank you, TLCA, or Rising Sun Four-Wheel Drive Club.
Yeah.
For that calendar. It comes in very handy because I forget the dates a lot. It's very nice to have that right behind the camera.
I know.
So you can't even tell I'm looking at the calendar.
Strategic planning right there.
Strategery. We're good at strategery here. Let's see, man. We got Thursday. So I have a bunch of updates on the Mule.
Yes, I'm excited.
Talk a little bit about gift boxes.
Yes, we do.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Jeep Talk Show.
Okay.
And Pacific Northwest Four-Wheel Drive Association, the P&W 4WDA.
Okay.
Anything else?
I just have my normal updates for the most part.
I got Skills Day.
Oh, yeah.
Skills Day.
Yeah, you have a lot of updates. I say let's jump into some gift box talk.
Okay.
Just so we can get that out there.
Cool.
And then we can sort of jump into like what we've been doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gift boxes.
Yes.
They're coming out.
We promise.
Eventually.
Yeah. We promise they're going to be released.
Yeah. We have all the items together except for one. And that's the one we kind of had to do a little bit of a mass produce. And there was a little bit more lead time than we were expecting.
Yeah.
So once it's in our hands, it'll be going out the door, but you guys are not going to be able to open up your gift boxes before the end of the month, which is shame on us for not planning that out properly. I'm still going to say it's a scapegoat thing and blame the vendor.
Sure.
Okay. I'm just going to do it anyways. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think was it a 3-week lead time that it was? It was something crazy.
I think we were originally thinking it was like 2 to 2.5 weeks. And they're like, oh yeah, it'd be like 4 weeks. Like, oh.
Yeah. Cause I think we got everybody's sizes in before the month started.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it comes today or tomorrow, but I'm guessing it's going to show up sometime next week.
Yeah.
And then, we're going to rush to get those out before we go on our trip.
Yeah. So keep on the lookout. We'll kind of inform you guys probably through the Discord once we send everything. That way you guys know to look in your emails for the tracking numbers. The tracking numbers and shipments will probably be coming from Morphlate or My Off-Road Radio. I forget exactly what shows up on the labels. But you'll see those come out, and we'll give you guys a heads up once they're shipping out. So, some of the stuff that we've done in gift boxes before, like typically we love to do an episode to talk about what is coming out in the gift boxes.
Right.
So that people that are receiving the gift boxes, you guys have already received it. You've gotten to open them without the surprise being ruined. And we get to tell everybody else what was included in the gift boxes this time. And that way we try and do that before the end of April. So if people are like, oh, I missed out. I'm tired of missing out on these gift boxes. I want to sign up and get the next one in October, right? Hopefully it gives you guys time to do that. Since the last item is not in yet and you guys are not going to get the gift boxes, we're not going to talk about what's in the gift boxes this time, but we are going to kind of reminisce about a little bit about what's come in past gift boxes.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Some of the items that we've done, some of the themes we've done in the past, and what we really enjoyed about them.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I think my favorite gift box was the whiskey gift box.
Yeah, I really liked that one too.
And I'm not a big whiskey drinker. Like, I love my Simply Hard lemonades.
Yes.
And I just discovered White Tails.
What?
White Tails.
Not White Claws?
It's White Claws cocktails.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're at 7 or 8%. They're like the Strong Claws.
Yeah.
But they're like designed after actual cocktails.
Is Strong Claw an actual thing? Or is it a drink that I just make?
No, I think it's actually like they have White Claws that are stronger alcohol proof.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Stronger percentage.
We just usually add another shot into it.
Perfect.
Yeah. We're like, you drink it down a little bit and then you pour a shot of vodka in it and you like kind of shake it up. And then now you got your Strong Claw. That's always been something we've done and made and called it.
Maybe it was Truly that made the strong ones. The normal White Claw is like 5% alcohol. It's the same as a Coors Light.
Yeah.
But they have another one that's like 8.5%, 9%.
Oh, okay.
And I've always called those Strong Claws.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyways, they have cocktails now that are like made and designed to mimic a Moscow Mule, margarita, a daiquiri, whatever it is. But they're carbonated.
Okay.
Like a White Claws, right? And so they're flavored that way with a little bit of carbonation to them. And then they're like that Strong Claw 8 to 9%.
Got it.
Alcohol in them.
Okay. So yeah, a few of those and you'll be happy.
Anyways, I forgot where we were going with all that.
You were talking about the whiskey. You said you liked the whiskey box, but you're not really a whiskey drinker.
Yeah.
And then you went off on this whole tangent.
Yeah. The proof syrups are awesome. And I've been really enjoying the proof syrup. We've gone back and ordered more.
I've ordered a few times. Yeah.
From them. And so I still have a stash of proof syrups in my bar at home. And I use them often enough to be like, these are fantastic.
Yeah, they're fun.
I love what is the one I like? The pumpkin and the almond old fashions.
Oh,
they have a pumpkin spice old fashioned and then an almond old fashioned.
Yeah.
And both of those are fantastic. I've never yet, actually.
No, I have the pecan old fashioned. We should
pecan, maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. Instead of almond. Yeah.
Yeah. You should combine the pumpkin and the almond and make like a Thanksgiving in a glass.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I have not combined any of them yet.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I've only, and I say that like I know what I'm doing, but the ones I have combined them before, but I've combined the traditional and the orange just to dilute the orange flavor a little bit more.
Okay.
Because there's 2 ways to dilute the orange flavor. One,
more whiskey.
Yeah. One is more whiskey. Or 2 is you add the traditional in so you can kind of subdue the flavoring.
Yeah.
Where I like the sweetness of the way it's made. But I wanted less orange. And so I added the traditional in to keep the sweetness there.
Okay.
But if another way you could do that, is just add more whiskey or a rye whiskey.
Okay.
Which would make it a little spicy to the sweetness. So
I imagine would a rye with an orange whiskey, would that turn it, I don't want to say give it like an orange and nutmeg.
It turns it into a tangerine.
A tangerine. Okay. Sure. So anyways, I really liked that gift box.
Yeah.
I liked the smokers. I've used my smoker a few times now.
Yeah, that was
fun. It's fun. It's fun to light fires on your bar and get smoke to go in your drink.
Around all the alcohol.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was a fun one for sure. Yeah. I think we had some proof syrups. We had the smokers. And then there was something else small in there, tangible thing. But yeah, that was a fun one. Another fun one that we did was with Summershine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Summershine, Steve over there. We got we got a few bottles from him. I think everybody ended up getting 2 bottles. I think they got there like a traditional wash, and then you got a random one of his cleaning supply business thing that he was doing. And so, yeah, everybody got some of those. And then I think they got a towel and some other things inside that gift box. So that was pretty fun. It was a fun little gift box to do. Everybody washes their car at some point, whether it's the rain or, it's you actually care about how clean it is. So that was a perfect pairing of felt really good to support Steve and help him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that was a fun one. I'm always a nerd when it comes to recovery gear. So anytime we get a gift box with recovery gear in it, I'm always like giddy about it.
Yeah.
So when we did the one with Spartan ropes and got their soft shackles, we did the one, was it 2 ago? Was it a Jimmy's box that had the quick recovery strap in it, the light duty one? That thing's pretty rad. I've used it a couple times now for lighter things.
It had like a bunch of loops in it. You ended up taking it.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Yep, I wanted that one.
Yeah, that was a box that we ended up doing with Jagged X Off-Road.
Yeah. Yep.
They actually put the whole gift box together and sorted it out and shipped it out to everybody. Yeah, and it was a good pairing because they were starting to get into the gift box territory for their company, and I was like, hey, let us help you promote.
Yeah.
And I think we killed him for the most part. After that, he changed his mind, didn't want to do any more gift boxes. So I think it was either a good thing that we helped him out, figure it out quick, or or we just overdid it, one or the other. But that was funny. And that was a good one. I can't recall, there was some other smaller things in that gift box. I know there was a multi-tool in that gift box, and I don't remember what else there was. But
another one, we did one with Speed Strap? No, Speed Strap is the strap.
It is. That's the strap that you have.
PRP owns that company. Did you know
I
that?
didn't know that.
Speed Strap?
Oh. I
remember now that I said the name, I was like, wait a minute. I was talking with Junior at PRP about Speed Strap because they had a bunch of stuff in their PRP booth at KOH.
Aaron, it's funny, small side story. Aaron, the PRP main guy, not owner anymore, but like originator, was on Trail Hero X, or is on Trail Hero X season 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of fun. I started watching those finally, and we're leaving in like a week or so.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. I know that we've done a ton of stuff with gear wrenches in the past, but one of the fun things that we used to do in the first few gift boxes is we were to always throw a 10 millimeter in, and we got I don't know how many 10 millimeters we got originally, but we got like a 10 millimeter 1/4 inch drive, 3/8 drive, 1/2 inch drive, and then we got the same scenario but with 12 points.
Yeah.
And then did we get deep sockets as well?
Yeah, we had deep and shallow too.
Shallow sockets. So we had like a whole bunch of different varieties so that we could just continue to throw these in. The problem eventually we got too many gift boxes, or that's not a problem, but we didn't have enough 10 millimeters to do the same 10 millimeter in every single box. So it turned into a random thing pretty much until we ran out of 10 millimeters.
Yep.
So that was a fun thing for a while.
And the 10 millimeter key wrench, chain wrenches.
It was 1/4 inch or something.
Was it 1/4 inch?
It wasn't a 10 millimeter.
Okay.
Yeah. Every time I handed one of those out, somebody was like, it should have been a 10 millimeter. Yeah.
Maybe that's where I got it from.
Yeah. And then we had the little tape measures too for a little bit. That was handouts. Yep. So
people loved those. I remember handing those out on the trails too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I carried around a little box full of the little tape measures and keychain wrenches.
Yeah.
And when I ran into listeners on the trails, I would hand out a tape measure and a key wrench.
Okay.
And they loved it. It was a great time.
That's cool. Yeah. That was fun. Any other key things that you can recall throughout the past?
I thought it was a fun touch adding the candy.
Yeah, that was
to the
fun.
boxes. Especially when we would send one of our boxes out to Sherpa, who we've talked about on the show multiple times. He's been a little quiet lately. But the people that he lives in Florida, and he would have us ship his box to the property in California that he stays at. And the people would open up his box and take all of his candy every time.
Yep. And so one time, did we end up sending a full box of candy?
I think we just sent like a leftover bag of candy in a box for her. Yeah. That was funny.
That was fun. The very first box that we did.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really wanted to make these like gift boxes. It was like my goal to like, you're receiving a gift from us. Like I made wrapping paper.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
I designed wrapping, SnailTrail 4x4 wrapping paper, wrapped the gift box, all of the gift boxes, hand wrapped them and like put everything in the box, had it wrapped in tissue paper, then wrapped the box with wrapping paper, SnailTrail 4x4 wrapping paper. And then I think I took them somewhere, and then I think it was UPS.
Yeah.
I took them to UPS and UPS is like, you can't ship boxes like that.
Yeah. They can't be in a wrapping paper, covered in wrapping paper. You got to take all the wrapping paper off.
Yeah. And I was like, no.
Boxes.
And so I think I ended up just buying another box and putting it in another box and sending them out. We definitely did not save money on that, or did not make any money, or I think we broke the bank a little bit on that first one.
Yeah.
But that one was fun. Definitely fun.
Do you remember the box that Brian did? Our old producer, Brian?
No.
He made a box, designed a box for us.
Yeah.
That had Bobcat and Kermit on it.
I still have one of those at home.
Somewhere.
Yeah. It's in the shop.
Those were hilarious. I loved that box.
Yeah. For
that
sure.
Was limited edition. I think there was only like 50 or 40 of those made somewhere in there.
Yeah, so. That was definitely a fun one. So the boxes are a lot of fun. We're sorry that they're coming out so late, but we did want to give you guys some insight on like our enjoyment on the boxes and some of the items that usually show up on them. There's usually, there's so many random things. Like we've talked about cleaning supplies to whiskey smokers to actual tools and everything in between came into a gift box at one point in time.
We had the welding gift box. That was fun. Had some fun magnetic squares in there.
Right. So, that was a good one. Yeah. We were trying to do themes on a gift box for a little while, and then we kind of diverted away. So, we're excited for the gift box. We have a fun little twist on the next one already kind of planned. So that's going to be, it's planned, but it's nothing's in the works yet.
Apple, what is that? The Apple,
the Apple,
what are they called?
Your Fireball.
The Fireballs. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody might get
Fireballs.
one of those in theirs. But yeah, we have a little twist, I think, on the next one. We're going to try something new and see how it works out. Maybe we'll continue it. Maybe we won't. We'll see. And that's my box, Jim's box, going to happen. So if you're interested in getting into the gift boxes, now's a great time because the actual tier is open. We talked about that a little bit in the intro. You have until the end of the month to sign up for the gift boxes. They're a fun, random present that we love to send out and, put our rubber stamp on and give it out to you guys. And hopefully that you guys enjoy 90% of what's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. So that's gift box stuff, gift box update. We'll do a little bit of a quick go over of the gift boxes once we're back from Trail Hero X. So that'll be second half of May. A lot of the stuff we typically do at the beginning of the month is going to get put off until the second half of May.
Yeah.
So like announcing the giveaway winners from April, getting you guys the final logistics on the Devos group buy. All that will be happening in the second half of May just because we're gone traveling across 3 states the first half of May.
Yep.
So
participated in Trail Hero X if you haven't heard yet.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun, and you guys will get to watch us on TV eventually when it airs. And it sounds like the airing schedule will be somewhere around January next year.
Wow.
So
that long.
Yeah, they spends quite a bit of time in production apparently.
I guess so. And what I'm excited to show on TV is how I'm not actually as short as Tyler makes me out to be.
It's gonna be, remember at Monsters Inc. when they're interviewing
you remember
Mike
their names?
Wazowski. Mike's the little one.
I don't know. The big bear?
Yeah, the big dude, the big one, and the camera's up on him, and then you see kind of like the top of Mike's head.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna be on the show.
Maybe. Quite possibly.
No. Wow. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. We'll get you guys updates, and we're planning on recording one episode at least while we're out there, and it'll be kind of a fun. We have a fun idea of a way we've never recorded a show before. I don't know if it'll work or not. There's probably a reason why we've never recorded that way, but we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see, what else do we got going on, man?
Well, why don't I take over a little bit here, because my week was a little slower. And then you have a ton of updates.
I do.
So, for the most part, I didn't get any Samantha work done.
Okay.
I wanted to lift the shocks up a little bit more. And, because I got them all on there, I talked about it last week where I built the truss and built the thing over the top and mounted the shocks and then articulated it. And when I was at full articulation, I still wasn't hitting the bump stop. So the shock was fully collapsed, but I wasn't hitting the bump stop. So I need to raise the upper eyelet of the shock up so that I can get my full up travel that I would like to acquire.
Okay.
So that's in a good spot. I need to raise it like 1/2 inch to 1 inch, I feel. And then I'll have a very good idea of where that is. So then I can actually eventually build some actual shock hoops or have an idea of how to do that. I'll know roughly where it needs to be.
Okay.
But I want to raise it. I probably could just call it good and be like, yeah, I need to raise it about 1 inch now, because I know right now when I articulate everything, nothing hits.
Okay.
So in theory, I could raise it up and it should still probably be okay, but I just want to be sure. It won't be hard to cut a few tacks, lift the thing up, tack it back on, and then articulate it. So that's what I want to do.
Okay.
But the reason I didn't work on Samantha this week is because I was working on our buddy Trent's Land Cruiser.
That's right. Yeah.
Who I heard you saw on Saturday.
Yep. Yeah. Apparently, I was walking into the bathroom and he called me, and I was like, I gotta pee, man. I'm not going to answer. So, I did that. And then I came out of the bathroom and I had a text message from him and it said, why don't you answer your phone when I'm looking right at you? And I was like, I was playing with myself. Okay.
Yeah.
I had priorities going on, Trent. Yeah. He was over at Prairie City while I was there for Skills Day.
Yes.
And I guess drove by me. He wasn't in the area where I was at. They went over to the track to do some laps with Kevin's car.
Yeah.
Kevin Jones. So.
Oh, really?
That's what he said. Kevin's car. I assumed it was Kevin Jones, but it could have been a different one.
I think it was his son's car.
Oh, okay. Is his son's name Kevin?
I'm fairly certain.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I know that, well, he told me that he was out there and they were doing laps with the kid's car and getting some photos. Okay. So I don't recall him ever saying it was a big boy car. I think it was a little boy car.
Nice.
So anyways, Trent got a hold of me and he was pretty much like, hey, I need these knuckles rebuilt on. He actually has an LX450, but pretty much identical to an FJ80. And he's like, I need these knuckles rebuilt. Are you interested?
Yeah.
And I said, well, let's talk about it. And so we talked about it. I came up with an idea of roughly how long it would take. And I gave him a price and he said, sure.
Okay.
And then it took me way longer than I anticipated. But the thing was, a lot of it came down to like, I really wanted to do it correctly and do it, because it was like, I'm doing this for somebody else and they're paying me. It's like, I'm taking all these extra little steps that I probably wouldn't necessarily do for myself, just to make sure that it's done correctly and right. And it was down to the fact of like the side that was bad. It was an inner axle seal was leaking. And so now it was soupy, nasty gear oil, greasy mess, like getting everywhere and outside the knuckle, and the whole knuckle was like covered in it, and the brakes were getting compromised because they're all nasty looking. And so it's like, I went and like put it in my parts cleaner and cleaned everything, and so that like let it soak for like overnight. And so there was just time periods when I couldn't do some things, because it was just taking a little bit more time. So it took me quite a while longer. Like I cleaned up like nuts and bolts and, like I went down and did a pretty decent job, I think. Okay. And we put in all new bearings. I had to repack all the bearings. We did all new trunnion bearings, everything. Nice. Right. So it was a full 100% rebuild. The only thing I think I didn't change was like the brass little fitting that's on the backside of the spindle. Okay. Like the kit came with it. And I'm like, I don't need to replace this.
If it's in good shape, it's usually in good shape.
Yeah.
Those have to be really beat up to really warrant needing to be swapped. Yeah.
And then kind of the only thing that, when we were diving into it, we didn't anticipate the brakes being a little bit compromised. Plus they're very worn down, getting to the point where they're hitting the metal part that would make the screechy noises.
Yep.
And so I was like, I'm here. Do you want me to replace the brakes? And so, the brake pads. So I did that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that took me.
So you charged him extra like $300 to replace the brake pads.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Well, and when I was there, he was like, hey, can I get a panel too? And so I ended up doing a panel and some custom etching and stuff for him as well. So, yeah, so that took my time that I would have been working on Samantha.
That's fair.
And it took my Saturday.
Okay.
So I would plan to be like, oh, I'll be able to get this done on Thursday. And Hussman actually called me up and he said, I'm busy this week. I can't come in over. And I said, no problem. I've got my hands full with projects anyway. And so I was like, I'll be able to work long and be able to get this done. And then, yeah, it just carried on a little longer than I anticipated. But I mean, my hourly rate wasn't great, but I think the end product turned out rather well. So
nice. That's good.
I also found some problems, other things that were going on with his rig. And so pointed those out to him. And then he actually went home and he was like, yeah, I did one of the upper, hoses or lines that goes into the power steering was leaking, and it was leaking power steering fluid everywhere. And so at first I was like, your power steering's leaking, and that's the obvious leak that you're having. And then when I was doing my final check over, and I did the knuckles, right? But then I was like, okay, final check over. Let me check your fluids. Let me check a few other things, make sure that, it's really good to go. Power steering, when I looked at it, because it was leaking, there was like almost nothing in the reservoir.
Okay.
So, I was like, okay, so I put power steering fluid in, and then I figured out where it was leaking from, and I pointed at it. And so he went home and he took the power steering line apart. He Teflon taped it, stuck it back in there, to see if that's going to prevent it from leaking more. He bought pucks to raise the front up because he put an Ironman 4x4 suspension on there.
Okay.
And the rear is sitting still fine, but the front settled more.
Okay.
And so he bought these like 1-inch spacers. So he put those on. He rotated the hydraulic ram a little bit because it was the valve or the input and output were pointing straight up. And when he really articulated up, he hit his oil pan. And so we were talking about, he's like, yeah, I got this lower degree 90, not this like spacer and then a 90 thing. And I was like, well, why don't you just rotate it at 45?
Yeah.
And you won't have this problem. He's like, oh yeah, I could do that too. So he ended up doing that. He did a whole bunch of work. He bled the brakes because I was like, man, are these brakes? I changed the pads, but your brakes are super squishy. And he's like, yeah, they've been needed to be bled for like years. I'm like, okay. And so, so he went home and he did it all. And I was like, cool, good for you, man. And he's like, yeah, it feels great now. I was like, perfect. Glad to hear everything's working. So that took all my Samantha time.
Yeah.
But I got a few $100 out of it, for the work I did. And I think I already have what I'm going to buy planned. So that works out.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah. So that was pretty much my week. I did a little bit of yard work on Sunday. Met up with Trent on Sunday after you guys were out on Saturday. So that was fun. We hung out, just shot the shit for a little bit. Family came down. Family drove them down, and then they took off, and Trent and I hung out for a little bit. Yeah.
Nice.
That was about it for the most part.
Good.
All right. So now that that's done, so I got to ride in the Mule today, which I'm super happy that has come about. I'm stoked that it's here. I'm happy that it's driving.
Yeah.
How did Jason do this, man? That's
I have no
amazing.
clue. That guy did all that work. 12 days, I think, in total it was. I mean, I'm pretty sure he took Sunday off, which kudos, he needed to.
Yeah.
He was putting in like 12-hour days pretty much on that thing. 12 days, I think, 11 to 12 days in total. He worked on it, and got it all back up and running. A lot of work that went into it. A lot of work he did. A lot of shit got replaced. He fixed quite a few different things that weren't even broken originally in the big disaster, right? We talked about the disastrous event that happened of the axle falling out from under it and breaking a lot of stuff. But he found a bunch of other stuff while he was going through things.
Yeah. And he's super meticulous, it sounds like.
So meticulous.
Which is great for his profession.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've I've worked quite a bit with different shops, right? I don't go around to different shops. I try to do more of the work myself. But on the bigger projects,
you just don't have the time.
I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
And I will say I've never taken a rig back to the same shop.
Okay.
And that's for different reasons. I take that back. I took the Kermit to Ori twice.
Okay.
So once to do the 3/4 swap and then once to install the suspension. I've pretty much made him up in my mind, if Jason will let me, that anytime I'm having a shop work on one of my vehicles, Jason's the one doing it.
Right. OCD Innovations.
Man.
Yep.
It was very impressive. I mean, the list of stuff that he had to do that we knew about, and then the list of stuff that he also ended up doing is just, it's so fucking impressive.
Well, what was super impressive to me, which I think is a sign of that he's really good at what he does, is that he was able to get the job done, but he also inspected a bunch of other stuff on the vehicle because he knew what you were about to go and do.
Yep.
Right. And he's like, hey, there's like multiple other problems going on that we don't have any idea about or you didn't know about. Right. Yep. Like we talked about it last week where the question we left the conversation with, we don't know how the rear axle is, right? Because the pinion on the rear axle is bad.
Yep.
And Nick from Montana and a few other people reached out and said, like, I've got parts. Do you need parts?
Yep.
And I guess you told me that parts wasn't really the issue.
Parts wasn't the problem.
We could get the parts. So how did that all end up and why was parts not really the issue?
Yeah. So the rear diff, when he was just under kind of going through everything and just checking stuff, he found out that the rear pinion had a 1/4 inch of play side to side in it, which is really, really not good for ring pinions and differentials. And so he opened it up and turns out the differential was installed with a crush sleeve.
Right.
And in low horsepower vehicle applications, off-road vehicles where you're binding up the drivetrain and really doing rock crawling things, or like super high horsepower. No, I don't even want to say that. If you're in low horsepower environments, low torque environments, you're not binding up your drivetrain, aka you're pretty much street driving. Crush sleeves are fine. They get the job done. But anytime you're applying power or torque to a drivetrain, binding up the drivetrain on undercut rocks and you have to crawl through it kind of thing. There's just a lot of force put on a crush sleeve in a pinion. And especially in a vehicle like the Mule that has kind of a rowdy 2UZ in it, engine, the 4.7 V8, it'll crush sleeves quickly,
right?
In differentials. So, for whatever reason, I don't know why I haven't talked with Dimitri about the decision to put a crush sleeve in that vehicle. But there was a crush sleeve in it. The Mule crushed it. And that's where we were getting all the play, in the pinion on the rear diff. So not the end of the world. But I did learn something about that rear axle that I didn't know.
Okay.
Which, I guess I don't know. I don't know if I would have been able to pick it out. It's a 99-04 Super Duty axle.
Oh,
so
interesting.
The 10.5 Sterling in the rear is a 99-04 Sterling, not the 05 and up Sterling.
Doesn't that have a different lug pattern?
It doesn't have, I don't know. It doesn't have a different lug pattern, but it has a slightly different differential setup than the 05 Plus.
Okay.
So it requires a different master install kit. And this particular one, I didn't follow it exactly what Jason was saying, but it needed like a specific bearing on one of the sides of the carrier.
Oh, weird.
That was weird. And I don't remember why it was. I got to go back and watch the video. I was kind of, he sent me a bunch of videos on stuff and I was like, I don't need to understand this right now. I just need to know if it's going to work or not.
Yeah. Right.
So that rear axle has something weird going on in the diff that I need to go back and watch the video because I need to know in the future if I need to rebuild that diff, right? I need to be able to tell the builder, Jason, what's going on with it, right? So anyways, the big issue with the diff is that it's a shave kit.
Right.
That rear diff is the Ballistic Fab shave kit on the 10.5. So because it's a shave kit, you have to shave the ring gear in order to put a new ring and pinion in. And so it's like, yeah, we could get the ring and pinions. That's not a problem. Get the parts. It was the time and the tools that it's required to shave down a ring gear properly to fit in a shave kit.
Right.
And so that was the big holdup on it all. And whether or not we were like, I don't know if this is going to work.
Yeah.
So, Jason opened up the rear. He took a look. All the upper pinion bearing was shot.
Of course.
Which, yeah, of course, if the crush sleeve is gone, it's not really supporting things anymore. Now the bearing is doing all your pinion support, and that's just going to go.
Yeah.
So that was out, and one of the carrier bearings was also not looking too hot, probably because it was getting a lot of push and deflection from a pinion not being in the right spot. And so, but the ring and pinion surprisingly did not look that bad.
Okay.
It definitely needs to be replaced, but it should be fine. Like Jason was like, it definitely, you could tell it has a weird wear pattern to it. So this has been going on for a while, but it's good enough where like the gear set was not whining going down the road. So he said it should be good enough to get you guys through the trip. It may last 1 to 2 years for you.
Right.
But really it should be replaced. So it'll get us through here. It's not a permanent fix in the rear end yet, but it's good enough. He goes, I've seen way worse setups on trail rigs.
Yeah, sure.
He goes, this will be just fine. And it may just last you 1 to 2 years as a trail rig. Who knows? But he said, this is a ticking time bomb. It will go on you eventually.
Right.
I was like, okay, fair enough. So new bearings, reshimmed it, reset everything in the rear diff, and used the same ring and pinion.
Okay. And no crush sleeve.
No crush sleeve. Yep. Solid spacer on it. So that was the rear diff.
Yeah.
Front diff.
Okay.
I don't know if we talked too much about it.
Well, we talked that it's seized.
It's seized up. I have the pinion here.
Okay.
So we've got the pinion from the front diff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Where do those chunks of metal from?
That is the inner bearing race for the upper pinion bearing.
Welded it on there.
Yeah, it's a friction weld.
Yeah.
That's friction welding for you.
Dang.
Yeah. So the upper pinion bearing, well, the inner race was welded to the pinion, friction welded, and the outer race was friction welded to the housing.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd you get that out?
They got it out with a torch, essentially.
Okay.
Which begs the question, is the housing really good enough to hold a pinion bearing there now?
Yeah.
So Jason... Probably.
Because you torch stuff when you start welding to those housings anyway.
Yeah. But the question is that how much of torching and how much do you have to abuse where the race sits?
Yeah.
Right. And is that race now going to hold in its spot?
Yeah. Or is it going to move?
Exactly. Are you going to spin the race and then spin the bearing kind of thing?
Yeah.
So that's the question there. How do I go about this? When we picked up the axle and the mule and took it over to Jason's, we gave him the axle and we set the axle down in his shop, and immediately he kind of shined his flashlight in and he goes, do you want me to clean this out for you? I was like, what do you mean? Do you want me to clean? Yeah, it should be clean already. They just did the front diff.
They just did it all.
They just rebuilt it, put a locker in, new gears, new master install kit, everything. They should have cleaned the housing out when they had everything out of there. And he goes, it's not cleaned out. And I was like, what? And he swiped his finger in the bottom of the housing and out came a bunch of like metal dust.
Wow.
And metal shavings.
Okay.
And I was like, well, that has to get cleaned out. We can't put a brand new, fully rebuilt gear set and differential in with a ton of metal dust and shavings in the housing, in the differential, in the pumpkin area, right?
Well, never mind. I'm just not going to. I was gonna say, can't you put oil in, run it for a few seconds, and then just drain the oil out, and it would pull all that shit out with you? But I mean, no, it should have been clean
when you had the carrier out.
When it all got replaced. You should clean that. Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, well, pull the carrier.
Yeah.
Pull the carrier that has to get cleaned. And so he was like, okay, cool, I'll get to it. And then later that day, he texted me and he goes, hey, there was no pattern run on this gear, on the gear setup. I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Seriously?
Yeah. He goes, there's no pattern run. Either they didn't run a pattern, or they completely cleaned all the paint off and got it back down to a polished ring gear and pinion. I'm like, highly unlikely.
Yeah.
If you can't find any paint at all on that ring gear and pinion, run the pattern. We have to run a pattern on it. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are, how many diffs you've installed, how many you've set up. The last thing you always do is to run a pattern to confirm that everything is good.
Absolutely.
There's too many tight tolerances in differentials and gear setups to assume that you did it correctly. And so he ran a pattern and it was awful.
It was not ran correctly.
It was not installed correctly at all. And so we
as in Jason,
took it out and completely redid the whole thing.
Yep.
So, anyways, so he redid the whole thing, and got everything down to a good pattern, good install. Turns out while he redid it and pulled the pinion out to double check and redo the shim stacks on the pinion, there was a crush sleeve put in the front diff.
Really? Okay.
Yep. And there was no oil slinger in the front diff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So every high pinion differential needs some way of getting oil from the differential up the ring gear. You know, the ring gear helps spray it up the pinion.
Right.
But you need some other way to help distribute the oil that gets up into the pinion around that upper pinion bearing.
Okay.
That way the upper pinion bearing gets good lubrication and it doesn't friction weld itself to the pinion and housing.
Right.
So no slinger, oil slinger installed. And that was one of the specific things when I was picking up the mule and the axle from Stellar that I asked him about. I was like, oh, and I just want to make sure, because looking at the pinion, I was looking at it with him there at the shop, and I was like, this looks like there was no oil, or the oil was not getting to this pinion bearing. I was like, okay, well, you guys got the oil slinger installed, right, on this time? And he goes, I'm sorry, what? I was like, the oil slinger? And like, he goes, I don't know, whatever was in the master install kit. And I'm like, there's an oil. If you guys got an 05 and up Super Duty front differential master install kit, there's an oil slinger in there. It's different from the Toyota oil slinger. The Toyota oil slingers are kind of down at the end of the pinion. They help fling the oil further up into the pinion bearings. The Super Duty one is almost like a washer up on the upper end.
Oh,
and it kind of almost catches the oil and redistributes it on its way down, so that it comes down across the bearing from the top down, rather than Toyota way is from the bottom up.
Good to know.
So anyways, he was like, I don't know, whatever's in this box. He opens up this box and it's their spare box full of all the shims from all the installs they've done. And I was like, I don't see an oil slinger in here. He goes, okay, it's probably installed. I was like,
yeah,
okay, cool. No worries. That's all good, man. Thanks.
Yep.
And then when Jason was pulling everything apart, there was no oil slinger in it again. I don't want to say again, I don't know if there was one installed
the first time,
but according to the way the inner bearing race friction welded itself to the pinion right there that we can see, I don't think there was an oil slinger installed the first time.
Well, and I think we should also say that it wasn't, I don't really want to name names so much, but Stellar Built did not do the ring gear install.
True. He has a contractor come in from outside and do all the differential work.
Right. So he approves somebody to come in and do that work for them.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways,
I'll leave that one where it is.
We'll leave that one. So anyways, he redid the front diff, got it all set up correctly. I'm not going to get it. He redid it, got it all set up correctly. It's getting a great pattern now. It's got the E-locker in it. He rerouted the E-locker wire because it was not routed properly to come out of the housing.
Okay.
And it was just done in a very
nonchalant way.
Very bad way if you want to avoid leaks in your axle housing. Gear oil coming out of, if you want to keep gear oil in your axle housing, it was not done the correct way. So if you want to have a self-lubricating axle housing, it was done in a great way. So anyways, Jason welded that spot up, ground it down so it's a nice smooth surface again, and drilled a proper hole for running the E-locker wiring through the housing and grommeted it appropriately. So front diff, all good, ready to go. Rear diff, as good as it's going to get for the time that we had allotted. When he had the front axle apart, he double checked the ball joints.
Okay.
On the turn axis, right on the knuckles. The ball joints were all super loose, all 4 ball joints.
All right. Yeah.
So 2 per side. Super loose, and turns out the ball joints were not bad, just the bolts holding them in place were very loose.
Okay.
And he said what's going on is the axle is not hitting the steering stops properly.
Oh.
The knuckles when they turn. He said something is off in the steering box where it turns to full lock on one side, but it won't hit the steering stops on the other side. And so what's happening is the box.
So the box isn't centered.
The box is not centered.
Yeah.
And he said, really, we should be pulling the
pitman arm
off, centering the box and putting it back on properly so that it hits the stops on both sides.
Right.
Because right now it's not hitting the stop. The box comes to the end of its throw and the ram pushes it further.
Yep.
And that's causing the ball nuts to come loose, the bolts to come loose on the ball joints.
Okay.
So, I just need to remember that when I'm turning, not to go full lock for now.
Don't max out steering.
I need to fix that when I get time. So that's next. So that's a high priority item on the to-do list. He built a new drag link and panhard bar.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
so
of course.
The tie rod was fine. When the axle gave out and rotated around it ripped the drag link and panhard bar underneath it and shaped them like a wet noodle.
Yeah, that was quite impressive.
Yep.
What was really impressive was the Heims didn't break.
Yeah.
The bars bent and twisted before the Heims ever gave out. Yeah.
We did find that one Heim, the FK Heim, that the inner race that holds the Delrin part in, the inner race popped out of it. And like nobody's seen that happen before to a Heim. And so that was impressive. He got those all rebuilt, painted. The upper link bracket, he built a really cool upper link bracket, very stout, tied in on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides.
Holy shit.
So it's very much welded to the axle now. And he kind of played around with the upper link and kind of moving around that upper link mounting position to see if he could tease out the change of caster during suspension travel. Okay. And when he was playing around and testing with it, he goes, dude, this rig only changes 2.5 degrees throughout the full 14-inch travel of the shocks.
That's really good.
So it's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's not really changing that much.
No.
It's at least not enough where road driving, hitting a bump and hitting something on the road is going to cause a caster change. So we might be changing 1/4 degree when you hit a bump in the road, maybe.
If that.
Yeah, if that. So it's not really enough to be changing caster. So he just kind of essentially built the bracket so that the upper link attached to the axle in the same location just made a much, much stronger bracket this time. So
he could have made the same exact bracket, just not had any holes in it and welding the front, and it would have been fine.
I agree. But I really like the way he did this next bracket.
I'm happy.
I agree.
I didn't even look at it, so I'll have to take a peek this evening.
He wrote something on the backside of it with a paint pen. You'll have to read. It's pretty funny. So anyways, upper link bracket got completely refabricated. I really like the way he did that. I have no worries and concerns. It's on par, in my opinion, in strength and robustness of what it's going to be handle with the 4-wheel underground bracket that's on Kermit.
Oh, cool.
For the upper link bracket. So, that's going to be super stout. I'm really happy with that, the way that turned out. He said that he started playing around with the alignment and found out that the toe of the vehicle, it was at a 0 degree. Oh. So not towed in, not towed out. And I thought I had set it for about 1/16. And that was that day that I took it on, took it off to try and get it set to about 1/16 towed in.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was at 0 toe. And I was like, all right. And I was measuring that day. I was measuring off the tire lugs rather than setting up my broom handles that I use typically for doing it. So I was like, I probably was just 1/16 off on the tire lug.
Well, now after some of the story has been released, I think your ball joints might have been also giving you a false reading.
That's what I think. If both sides, if your knuckles are not firmly attached to your axle, that would 1000% give you a darty feeling while you're driving.
Well, no, I think that is the darty feeling. Because especially now that we know that your pinion angle is not changing a lot, but I think that was also messing you up for your alignment.
Probably. Yeah. Oh, for sure. That would make sense. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So, but you led right into it, is the ball joints being really bad and loose. I think that is the majority and the big problem of why the vehicle is feeling so darty, is because your tires were able to wiggle around and drive themselves due to the bumps in the road, pretty much. Yeah,
I agree. I think that was definitely what was going on. That was probably the leading indicator. He said that after he got the bulb joints tightened up and was driving it around with the 0 degree toe, it was still a little darty. And he got it to be a 1/4 inch towed in. Okay. And he said that immediately eliminated any kind of dartiness around the road.
Cool. You've been driving around a little bit now. Yep. Do you feel it's really good or great?
I think so. I think that the dartiness is gone.
Oh, good.
And so the only real thing left with the steering right now is just that the steering is still really sensitive. And we talked a little bit about it, and he kind of agrees with what my thinking was, that there's just a ton of fluid going through that ram. And so he goes, it feels like it's full hydro. Like that ram is operating full hydro by itself. Like,
yeah.
And I was like, I agree. I think it's the same feeling. And he thinks that it's a larger bore diameter ram than your typical rams. And that's probably why it's getting so much fluid through there. But he said the best thing to do is call Eric over at Radio Dynamics, which I've already done. And he said, just talk with him about it. He'll know exactly what to do. And I was like, perfect. We're on the same idea, the same wavelength here with getting in contact with Eric. And I've already talked with Eric and had a little bit of chats, and he goes, oh yeah, it sounds like you just have a lot of fluid, and your fluid is not consistently flowing. He goes, we definitely have some setups that would work awesome in there. So I told him, okay, well, I've got a bunch of stuff going on. I'll probably reach out to you late May, and then we'll work on setting all that up. And he said, no problem. So cool. Eric, if you listen, I'll be calling you after we get back from Trail Hero X. So the steering, that's really the only thing left in the steering that is kind of like a road mannerisms, is that, just very twitchy steering. And that's just I think from the amount of flow going through the system. Let's see, what else did we do? We put 3 new joints on the suspension. The front links are now hauled in with 3 out of 4 new joints. The old TMR Forever joint, lifetime joint, is still on there, and it did great. Handled everything just like a champ.
Well,
it's still really nice and tight.
Upper link.
It was on the lower link, upper frame side.
Oh,
yeah. So the Metal Cloak joints, we talked, I think, a little bit about it. The housing of where the joint actually is wallowed out and contorted, and then the shank broke.
Yeah.
Which is very impressive.
A 1 1/4 inch shank broke
Yes.
before the joint broke.
Yes, which is very impressive. So we replaced the 2 broken shank joints, and we realized the third one was wallowed out, and went and got a third one as well. So now it's running 3 Metal Cloak Heims, 3 Metal Cloak joints, and the TMR Lifetime joint on the other side.
Cool.
So got all that.
And those were Metal Cloak, the ones that got egg shaped. Were all Metal Cloak joints.
Yep. Those are all the Metal Cloak ones. So there's those. Let's see, what else did we do? He went through and checked every little nut and bolt, and he paint penned everything that he checked.
Cool. I did that on Trent's rig too.
Yeah. He goes, granted, I'm a little delirious right now. But if there's a paint pen on something, it means I've checked it and it's torqued properly. If you don't see a paint pen on something, check it. Just check it. Just to make sure. And we'll go from there. So it's all back up and running. It's under its own power. He had the coilover shocks in the front. And he had those gone through again because the front diff was not done correctly.
Oh, yeah.
And so we wanted to make sure that the shocks were done correctly. So we sent those over to Greg at Rock and Road.
Oh, cool.
Who's a genius when it comes to shocks. He's like the secondary shock Jesus. In Northern California.
Well,
there's Phil Licardi and Greg Rock and Road.
But Phil's in Nevada now, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why Greg's the local guy for sure.
Yeah.
If it has shocks. I was talking to Brad at Hot Metal Fab, and I was saying, I've got these shocks I need built. I want to go give them to Greg to check them out. And Brad's like, well, what are they? And I was like, they're Bilstein 9100s. And he's like, Greg will tell you to get new shocks. He's like, he hates Bilsteins. I'm like, okay.
All right. Whatever.
Well, whatever. Yeah.
But I was actually impressed. It was he charged us $175 to just go through and make sure everything was done correctly and properly.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a smart move.
He found a couple issues. So
I think
was a smart move.
Yeah. I think everybody will build their shocks a certain way too. A certain way, but I would trust 100% whatever Greg does. Yeah.
So we went through the shocks. The only thing that's really left is the ride height is actually in a good spot in the Mule right now. It's at a spot I like it. It's a little higher than what it was, which is kind of where I want it to be.
Yeah.
But I can feel that it's slightly squatting in the rear. So I know once we load it down with all the gear, it's going to squat more.
Yeah.
And really, in order to raise the rear, it just needs longer springs.
Yes.
There's too much preload in it right now to really keep the rear working okay, and try and add more preload to it. It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
So it really just needs longer springs. So we'll just deal with a squatting rig on this trip.
Okay.
But Phil owes me a shock tuning. So once we get back, Phil, if you listen, I'll be giving you a call to rein in my IOU there. So
sounds good.
Let's see what else was done. Jason swapped out all the hardware on that holds the rifle case on the rear swing out. To the brackets that swing it out, or that lays down the rifle case.
Yeah.
All the hardware that was in that were these big, thick bolts heads, and they were rubbing on the Mule's body, the back hatch. And so he replaced them with a button head Allen bolts.
Okay.
And those now no longer rub on the back.
Okay, cool.
But the Rotopacks rub on the back, and they're empty. So once they're full, they're going to rub even more. So I really just need to take the whole swing out and move it away from the vehicle about an inch.
And how are you going to do that?
I think the way I'm going to have to do it is cut the spindle off, and add a plate on top of it, and just move it out an inch, and then gusset the outside of the plate, I guess, or bend it down and re-weld it into the existing mount that's there. I think that's how it's going to have to be done. And then on the latch side, it's essentially a boxed in plate on top, right? And then there's a slot cut out of it that the latch connects into.
Okay.
So really, I just need to
You might be able to
cut the slot out a little further so the latch can grab it in the right spot.
You might be able to extend that latch too. You
Maybe.
might be able to like make it a longer latch. Like, cause some latches you can fine tune and make it to how you want it. So there might be some play available to you.
This latch is I think it's a billet latch handle.
Oh,
billet aluminum. So I need to modify the slot that it latches into.
Okay.
I think. So, but that's not hard to do. It just takes time. It's not going to get done before the trip. So, we'll do that one after the trip.
Maybe for the trip, we just like glue on like 3M sticky foam thing onto the back door.
Yeah.
So that, the rubbing rubs on the foam, not on your paint or your wrap.
The wrap. Yeah. So, that's the current state of the Mule, I guess.
Okay.
New TMR lower links. TMR was awesome. They got them out to me super quick.
Nice.
I didn't realize that TMR was in Canada.
Are they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Huh.
And I'm like, that's actually pretty impressive that the aluminum links, they made custom length aluminum links for, I think it was $550, $600 shipped to my door. Week and a half, 2 week turnaround time from Canada.
Yeah.
Like how,
Wow.
I don't know how they're making money because I didn't pay the import duties on it.
You did in the shipping.
I didn't pay shipping.
Oh, they paid shipping?
I guess shipping was all included in it. Like,
Wow.
I'm like, I don't know how they're making money on that.
Did you buy it as a Morphlate? Like, hey,
They didn't give me a discount. Yeah. I emailed them afterwards. I was like, hey dudes, just FYI, I really need this by like this week and stuff. And they're like, hey, sorry, we're moving the machine shop.
oh,
And so that we won't be able to make them until next week, but that's when we'll get started back on the machining, the custom orders. They said, but since we know what you're going to be using, I kind of told them what I was using it for and why I needed it. And they're like, no, it's all good. We'll just put you at the front of the line. So sorry if anybody else got stuff later from TMR because of me, but they were cool about everything. And I was super happy to pay for the extra service I got.
yeah.
So let's see, there was that.
So if I remember right,
Mhm.
well, is there anything left on the Mule?
I think that was it.
Okay. So if I remember right, in a text message on a thread,
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure you said you're working on 3 axles.
I'm working on 3 axles.
Okay, so maybe not, because I was like, is Kermit also getting work done?
I was doing a little bit of work to Kermit, but not really. Was I doing anything with the axles? Oh, I was resetting Kermit's rear pinion.
Oh,
And that turned out awesome.
okay.
So
Yeah.
Kermit, at like 72 miles an hour, I started getting a high speed vibration from the rear end.
Okay.
So I figured it was pinion, maybe a tire balancing thing, but I figured it was more pinion. It was a very high speed vibration, not really
Sure.
like a tire balance issue. And I've been noticing in Kermit, like the rear pinion angle is slightly up from where it really should be. Like maybe 5 degrees at most.
Sure. Okay.
It wasn't enough to be like alarming and make me sit down and fix it. But it was enough where like when I walked by and looked down at Kermit, I'd be like, that rear opinion's off.
It's a little,
it was just bugging me.
off. Yeah.
It was a little bug. I was like, yeah, it still goes fine. So I was like, you know what? I've got an extra half hour here. The kid was playing around outside in the front yard, and I was like, let me just go grab some tools real quick. And I keep my adjustable wrenches in Kermit in the center console that I use to check the jam nuts on the links because my jam nuts like to come undone.
You need some Nord washers.
Yeah. I've just been red Loctiting them and they've been working great. So I went down and adjusted the pinion angle so that it was at a perfect, straight pointing at the transfer case, at the double cardan, because I run a double cardan instead of 2 U-joints. And then I double checked and made sure that the rear links were exactly the same length. That way I know it's not cockeyed, right? And I checked the panhard bar to make sure that the tires were centered under the vehicle.
Yeah.
So I got all that reset and then locked everything in with the red Loctite, and then drove down to Prairie City the next morning. And I was doing 80 miles an hour on the freeway, just smooth.
Nice.
In Kermit. I was like, okay, so it definitely was a rear pinion vibration. 5 degrees was enough at higher freeway speeds to not be entirely super happy.
Got it. Okay.
So, Kermit's dialed right now. He's driving great. Wheeled him a little bit on a couple of the obstacles down at Prairie City for the guys that are going to be driving him at Trail Hero X, so that they can get used to how the drivetrain works, the shifters work.
Okay.
Where the lockers are, how that all operates. So, Kermit's dialed. He's ready to go.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Good to hear. So why'd you go to Prairie City?
Skills Day.
Oh,
Metal Cloak was putting on their Skills Day, which is the first one of the year.
Okay.
And so this is where a bunch of brand new Jeep owners, people who are unfamiliar with 4-wheel drive, they maybe just got a new Jeep and they're not sure how to really utilize it, what its capabilities are compared to what the person's capabilities are, right? So it's a really cool event for people to go and in a safe, controlled environment, with people guiding you and helping you and giving you advice, get to play with their vehicles and kind of start figuring out what these vehicles are capable of. It's an awesome event. Metal Cloak does a really good job with it. It's not as in depth as like the Esprit de Force safety clinic. Like they're not necessarily teaching you wheel placement and really going through and testing you on wheel placement stuff. You're more just getting to do the obstacles with very close guidance, right? Showing people what it's like to be aired up versus air down, on those obstacles at street pressure versus rock pressure in your tires and the difference there and why that's so valuable for you to do. That's kind of why we're there as Morphlate for educational purposes. I will say though, it was a pretty low attendance.
Really?
Yeah. Which I don't think it's any fault on Metal Cloak. They run a great event. People love it every time. I think it's more of a state of the industry.
Yeah, indicative of what's going on.
Yeah. Normally it's like packed and they've got to like rotate people through stuff. And there wasn't really that this year. Is
interesting.
30 to 40% attendance of what it normally is. So again, I don't think it's any fault of Metal Cloak. I don't think it's any fault of the event. I think it's just indicative of what's going on in the industry right now.
Yeah. Bummer.
Yeah. I think we're coming back to pre-COVID times for the off-road industry, and a lot of off-road companies that myself included with Morphlate have been living nice and getting fat off of the COVID, go out and play outdoors.
COVID bubble.
The COVID bubble.
The outdoor.
And everybody in the off-road industry needs to start looking at tightening up ship and evaluating expenses to make sure that you're going to be able to operate on a normal scale now rather than the bubble scale we've all been experiencing.
Sure.
So, but that was good. It was a great event as always.
Yeah.
They do a great job. The people there all had a fantastic time. And it was good. It was out at Prairie City, which is a fun venue to be at too. So
nice.
Good. Yeah. Let's see. I also went and got to do an interview on the Jeep Talk Show.
This was a little bit ago, wasn't it?
It was actually last week, or the week before, I guess.
Yeah.
We just ran out of time to talk about it on the last week's episodes.
Yeah.
But I got to go and sit down with Tony the second time, hanging out on the Jeep Talk Show and just talking about Morphlate stuff. The first time it was like, we were talking more about, Morphlate, the product we have, the product lineup, why the products are so useful for people. And this time we ended up into a fun discussion about business in the off-road industry.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And how AI is impacting businesses in the off-road industry. So it was kind of a really cool conversation. And we didn't talk a ton about Morphlate products per se. More so it was just kind of talking about business overall in the off-road industry. So I thought it was kind of a fun little conversation. Didn't really go where I thought it was going to go, but there's some really, I think, cool little tidbits there for people. If you guys are interested, go check it out. I have no clue what number episode it'll be released on. But it should be coming out soon.
Well, I'll find it and put it in the show notes.
So that was Jeep Talk Show. I'm going to be doing I'm going to be doing a seminar on tire pressure management with PNW, Four Wheel Drive Association.
Okay.
So that is essentially the Cal 4-wheel or Corva of the Pacific Northwest.
And so that's Oregon and Washington?
Yep, pretty much.
They cover that area?
My guess, a little bit of Idaho too.
Oh, maybe.
So Oregon, Washington, super NorCal stuff, the PNW, and they're relatively new nonprofit.
Okay.
And so Morphlate is supporting them now with the nonprofit organization stuff that we do for trail advocacy stuff. And they invited me to come on and do a talk about tire pressure management.
Cool.
So that will be next Wednesday, April 29th. At 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay. And so you're not going up there.
No,
you're doing.
It'll be like a Zoom meeting
online.
Yep.
Okay. So anybody can attend?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're opening up to the public on this one.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll put out on Instagram, on the Morphlate Instagram when that's happening, with a link to for you guys to register and get on there. We can get a link in the show notes because you're supposed to register for it, but you can also show up that night and follow the URL and get in the meeting. But it should be a fun one. So
cool.
What else is there to do on the Mule now that I have it?
Got it. Okay.
We got the Dakota lithium battery in it. It's cranking the Mule right over. No issues, no hesitation.
Good to hear.
So that's good. I need to rip out the old electric fan circuits that were left in there. I want to rip those out and get those relays out of there because that circuit's just not being used anymore. I'm going to be pulling the Switch Pro out of it and it's an 8-gang Switch Pro that's in there. And I have a 12-gang other panel.
Oh, okay.
That I'll be putting in. And then I got to design a mount for it to put the switch panel on the center console by the shifters rather than hidden behind the steering wheel next to the steering column.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got to do that. Once I do that, then I got to rewire everything to the new panel and put on all the lighting package from Baja Designs and Mega Whips.
Oh, wow.
Sent some 4-foot RGB LED whips for the Mule as well.
Okay.
So I got to fab up and make brackets for those, figure out where I want to put those on the vehicle, figure out how to run the wires electrical to them as well. I need to get the blinker circuit fixed as well, because I really want to get the registration started and going before we head out to Trail Hero X.
I think that's smart.
Mainly because the smog is coming up on 90 days here. I don't know exactly what the date is, but I need to get the register submitted before the smog certificate expires after the 90 days. And then I have to do it again. So, that's, I need to get that done. And so my goal is to get the blinker circuit so that I can get the registration done. That's like the next top priority at the moment.
Okay. So, sounds good.
Yeah.
A lot of things happening.
Yep. A lot of things happening. Jason kicked some serious ass.
Yes, he did.
Major kudos for getting all that done in 11, 12 days. Now it's on me to get the rest of it done. So in theory, we could probably take it the way it sits right now on the trip and be just fine. But I want to do right by Baja Designs. And I want to get the other couple things set up and set on it. So see if I can get that done before the trip.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's a lot going on for sure.
Yep.
Keep me informed.
Okay.
I should have some free time to get down here and help you if we need to dive into some stuff.
All right.
So yeah.
Cool. I'll keep you up to date on that.
All right, cool. I think there's one last thing.
Okay.
I finally got your birthday gift in.
Oh, okay.
Probably should have done this a little earlier in the episode, but we forgot.
We got time.
Yeah.
We're not even at an hour and a half yet. All right. Let's see. What is this box here? All right. It's already
Amazon box.
We have these cute little things over here that are actually very handy stands for this. So yeah. Use a mic stand. So. That's good. Wait, hold on. What's going on with this? Why does the bottom fully unzipper?
So I've heard a few hints because I know Iceco's making something.
Okay.
I don't know if it's released.
Is this like an ice chest Carhartt backpack?
And I remember you mentioning some things on our Thanksgiving Black Friday special.
Uh-huh.
So I had my AI team go back and look at the Thanksgiving Black Friday special and find things whenever you said, I want that. Or I wish I had this.
Okay.
And one of the items that you said a few times in the episode, supposedly, was you wanted a cooler backpack. You wanted a Yeti cooler backpack is what you said.
Okay.
And you're a good guy, and I really appreciate our relationship and everything, but sorry, I'm not going to buy you a Yeti cooler backpack. Instead, I bought you the big brother to the coolers that we have when we hand out them to our 5-year listeners.
Yeah.
This is a 24-can Carhartt backpack.
That's pretty cool. There's a spot up here to put ice packs. It's a pretty, I mean, that's a 24 can compartment in the bottom there. Showing it on the video. Super insulated on the bottom. And Carhartt, and the straps look stout.
Yeah. So there's cool on the bottom, and then you could put dry goods and stuff up on the top.
Yeah.
And I guess there's 2 patches up there. There's a big pouch and then a front little pouch, and then a bunch of a few pockets on the inside.
On the inside.
Yep.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's be really cool.
Literally.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Seriously. And it's like, I like my backpack I have now, but I have it loaded out for like my everyday work stuff. Right.
Okay.
So when I go camping with it, it's just, I don't want to go hiking with it because I have all my shit in there.
Sure.
It's heavy. It's like having a different bag that's great for hiking because the top pouches have quite a bit of space in there, but like, I'm not going to put the Starlink and my laptop in there and then be like, God, I got to take these out and then put them back in after the hike and everything.
Yeah.
I can just grab this, throw lunch, towel for swimming, whatever, and throw drinks in the bottom and call it good.
There you go.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's funny. The AI team figured that all out and gave the suggestions.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep. So
Good job, team.
You have Sierra to thank for that.
Thank you, Sierra. I wonder if she'll see the transcript of this episode and be like, tell Tyler I said you're welcome. By the way.
That would be so weird.
That'd be creepy.
I will send it to her and see if she says anything.
Hi, Sierra. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's funny. I have had a couple people asking,
yeah,
is it
that's
dumping
rain again? Yeah.
Holy crap. I can hear it through the headphones.
Yeah.
I have had a couple people asking about the AI stuff and what we're talking about the AI things. And I'm like, every time we keep thinking about it, bringing it up, we're too far gone in the episode to really go over it.
We maybe on our fun, one of our fun episodes that we record while we're out, we'll do an AI breakdown bonus episode. Yeah. Or you have to find, we'll record it and put it on the other podcast, and you have to find the other podcast.
There you go. It's still out there. I think we've only had 2 people find it so far. Yeah. So, keep looking.
It's not as, we're not updating things on there as regular as we update things here. So it's probably not showing up as often.
Yeah, this one's definitely the priority. So like we're not putting a ton of time into the other podcast, but you know, the interesting topics that come into our heads and we have fun conversations with that don't really have a place on SnailTrail4x4. That's where we find them at. So,
yep.
All right, man. Thank you for the backpack.
You're welcome.
Yep. And I'm looking forward to getting everything done on this vehicle and going out and having some fun on Trail Hero X.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We've been talking a little bit about it. Some things that we have planned for the episode. I am still working on some good ideas for the drinking game version. So we'll make sure to keep everybody updated before that happens. We won't tell anybody the rules until the videos start getting released.
Okay.
That's the game plan.
All right.
Now, because I mean, you, me, and Isaiah and Carson will know the rules. Yeah. And then that's
we'll add in little things.
Our game then also is to try to get into the videos as much as we can to get these rules implemented. Yeah. So that the listeners are going to start drinking.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully Rich isn't listening to this.
I don't know, man. That dude's busy.
I know.
I don't know how much he sits down and listens to podcasts.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, awesome. That does it for today's episode. Lots of updates for you guys. Fun stuff out there. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any feedback for us, feel free to give us a call over and leave us a message on snail mail. The phone number there is 916-345-4744. It's a good time. We love hearing from you guys. We love interacting with you guys. There's the Discord server. We're about to reach 100 people on there. I did check the Jeep Talk Show Discord has 328 people.
Oh,
so
okay.
What that means is we need to beat them.
Yeah. How many reviews do they have?
I don't know.
I bet
That's a good question. I didn't look that one up.
Yeah. We'll know next time.
Yeah. So anyways, jump on Discord, have some talks with us. And I did have a question for people. Maybe I should really be focusing this on the Discord, but if you guys are listening, you can leave feedback on the Discord. I kind of asked it and nobody really replied and it kind of got buried really quickly. There was a couple other conversations going on.
Okay.
But would you guys want a separate channel for me and Jimmy just to update our vehicles and pictures and videos and stuff going on with our vehicles within the Discord?
Yeah. I was thinking about that, making a whole Samantha build. Right. And then I was kind of like, well, how far is this going to spiral? Like, are we going to be like creating a forum where people are going to have their builds?
I don't think so. We have the Listener Rigs channel. And people, I feel like there's been a couple different places where people have asked us about the vehicles and somebody was like, can you like post or pin anytime you guys are talking about your vehicles so we can follow along with your vehicles? I'm like, that can get really messy quick if you're pinning the post within the channel.
Maybe we can do a thread underneath like listeners rigs or something.
Maybe that would be the way to do it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, if you guys want to see that, I don't know if you do or not. We just had one person ask about it and I replied and then there was no responses and it got buried really quickly in the conversation. So if you want to see that, speak up on Discord, and we'll see what we can do about making it happen. So,
yeah, sounds good.
Anything else, man?
No, just, I'm curious how tomorrow's going to go when we have our meeting about Trail Hero X. So that's, really what I'm kind of looking at next and figuring out what our next steps are going to be to start getting legitimately ready for this trip.
Yep. Yeah. I think it'll go really well. There's a couple of unknowns, but like between all the gear that the four of us have, the only concern I have is that we're supposed to, for the 6 days that we're kind of out and about traveling, we're supposed to carry all the food for 6 days for 4 guys.
Minus dinner, right?
Is it minus dinner? I thought it was all of it. Like,
I think it's,
so I don't know. We need to figure out how 4 dudes, we're going to carry the food for 4 dudes for a week.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the trip and have it all.
Well, you know, so I'm super easy. So
chips and peanut butter.
Yep. PB and J's.
Yep. So we'll figure that out.
I could do that for a week.
Yeah, I think so too.
PB and J, PB and H, PB and B.
Peanut butter and butter.
Yeah, I was thinking banana,
but,
okay. But then I was like butter or just more peanut butter. Yeah.
Double peanut butter.
Yeah. Peanut butter on each side.
Got it. All right. So we'll figure that out. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your week. We'll see you guys on Friday for snail mail and then have a good weekend from there. Anything else? I think that does it. Any final words?
No, I think that was sort of my final words, was just looking forward to the trip, getting everything ready, figuring out some of the logistics of what's to come for us in the next few weeks. Yeah.
Sweet. And with that, my friends, keep crawling.
I got one for you.
Ooh, okay.
What do you get if you eat beans with onions? This is right up your alley.
I'm trying to think of a nationality that relies on onion flavoring. I can't think of one.
You're going the whole wrong way.
I'm going the wrong way?
Yeah. Go concern yourself more with the beans.
Well, I was gonna. Okay. I'm gonna guess when you fart, you cry. Tears, farting tears.
Oh, you're so close.
Crying farts. That'd be weird.
Tear gas.
Tear gas. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, there you go.
That's what happens when you eat beans and onions at the same time.
Tear gas.
You get tear gas.
Got it. I like that one. That's a good one.